Hi guys, welcome back to my video. So a slightly different video from me. I kind of mentioned in a few videos ago that I want to try out contouring the face again. I used to do it a lot when I first started my channel. I'll leave some videos, at the end of this video I've been kind of started doing some end cards, which I hope you're enjoying, linking a couple of videos. So I'll link to old videos of mine where I'm kind of back when I was into contouring, and I used to be quite into really full glam base makeup as well. Not so much now, my taste has definitely changed, and you'll notice in those videos they're very warm contouring shades I'm using, so they're pretty much bronzers that I'm putting into places where you would typically put contour. But I'm very inspired by Alexandra Nell at the moment, and she loves a contour and she loves switching up her contour routine quite a lot as well. So I wanted to give it another go and see if I think it is something that I could include back in my routine, or if it's something I could just leave out and just stick with blush, because I do love blush. Now I have picked up the e.l.f. Halo Glow Beauty Wand Contour, and this is the shade Fair Light. And actually this is, as you can see, a very cool toned shade, which for someone who is fair like me, you want the more cool toned shades to kind of resemble the shadowing. Like I said, I was using much warmer contours back then, and it did give more a bronze effect on me as opposed to a contour, which just kind of defeats the purpose really. So yeah, so I am happy that there is more cool tones out there now. I've seen a lot of people rave about these, so I'm excited to try it as well. So I guess it's a mini first impression as well as seeing whether I like contouring again. So yeah, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to contour half the face, see what we think. Obviously then I'll do the rest of the face and kind of give my final thoughts. So yeah, let's get into it. So I think this was £9. I know they now do like blushes and all sorts with this. So it's a sponge applicator. Yeah, and just a few squeezes and it kind of starts coming out. So I'm just intrigued to see what the shade is like. Okay, yeah, that is quite a nice cool toned shade, so hopefully that will give what we want to achieve. So I've got my mirror in front of me, just gonna look at it properly. So one of the areas I'm going to start contouring first is I'm going to get those cheekbones in, kind of create that nice cheekbone structure. So I'm looking at my face to see where I want to place this. So I'm going to definitely pop some, I don't know how much of this to use, so I'm going to go lightly. I'm going to add some dots here, so this is going to be my cheekbone scenario. Now I want a good brush for this. Are you dirty or are you just stained? I think you're just stained. So this is actually a brush that hasn't been used for a while, and it's probably a good brush to bring out again. This is the Real Techniques, one of the Bold Metals brushes, 301, and it's quite a nice dense brush, and it was always quite a good one for contouring. Let's get the hair out of the way. Oh, it's a really blendable product, which is quite nice. And I'm going to ever so slightly drag it down this way to kind of create that nice shape. I always feel like if you just leave it there, it kind of looks a bit odd. If you just bring it down slightly, it helps. Again, I mean, it kind of depends on your face shape. But there is technically places you're supposed to put it depending on your face shape. But that was to try and achieve an oval looking shape, as that was considered the ideal face shape. Obviously now we're very much like, love every face shape, let's be honest. I have a square face shape. I can never really see it, but the two makeup schools I went to, they both kind of confirmed they have a bit more of a square shape face, so, which I don't mind. Okay, I like how blendable that is, and that's very, you can kind of actually see the difference, but it also looks a bit undetectable at the same time. That's a very nice product, I have to say. I'm just going to blend it a little bit more. Okay, Well, a little goes a long way as well. What do we think so far? I'm thinking I wish I hadn't done this bit down here. So let's just try and buff that away slightly. I mean, I think that's going to be a very obvious difference. But like I said, if you look at the skin, I don't think it looks too detectable that I've got a contour on as such. That's quite a nice little product. Okay. Okay, so yeah, definite difference there. I probably wouldn't add too much more. For me personally, I probably wouldn't add much more than that on in that area. I kind of like the depth it's given. I can definitely see a difference. It still keeps it quite nice and light, which is what I prefer with my skin, kind of my base routine now in comparison to back then. You'll see in one of the videos I used the really big brightening bit under the eyes as well, which I don't do anymore. I'm going to add, I might just do a little bit around the perimeters, but I'm going to focus as close to the perimeters as I can. And actually this is a really nice dense brush. To blend this out with. If it was any creamier, I'd probably say it's too dense because it would almost become undetectable. So a sponge would work, but actually I think it's still good. I think actually I could do a little bit more on the forehead here. Again, I don't know, looking in the viewfinder, I feel like I can definitely see a difference. It's very subtle, but I swear there is definitely a difference. I think it's more noticeable in the cheekbone area than around here. This more just to give a bit of shading and a bit more kind of, not roundness, but yeah. Yeah. So far, I might see if they do maybe I'll pick one up for like a medium skin tone, but to act as a bronzer, not a contour. Because this formula of this is really nice. Maybe a few blushes would be quite pretty. But yeah, okay. I am going to add a little bit. I'm kind of putting in all the areas that you can put contour, just to see if I kind of like how it looks. And then if I'm enjoying the contour, I'll then tailor it a bit more to my needs. But for now, I'm just kind of wanting to see what it's like. Let's get rid of, well, even that instantly without blending, it's done something. Okay, I may have gone a bit too heavy on this bit. Now this, I used the Beauty Blender today to blend in my foundation, so purposely using that again because it's just going to help, the excess foundation will help blend that further in. Whoa. Okay, ignore this neck because I've messed up the neck down here, so we'll just ignore that. I probably should have gone with less just so it was more focused up here and not necessarily all the way down the neck. A bit rusty, but that has made a definite difference. This kind of looks more chiselled in comparison to this one. This one's got a bit more of a roundness to it, whereas this one is a bit more, yeah, chiselled. Now one of the places which I'm probably not so keen with putting it, but I'm going to do it for this purpose, is down the nose. Now, forgive me with this, because like I said, I haven't done contouring for a while, and nose contours, even back then, I don't remember doing too much of it, and I know I wasn't very good at it, so forgive me with this bit. But I think it's a very forgivable product, actually. Okay. It's definitely done something. Now, I know a lot of people do the thing to give a bit of a button nose, but my nose kind of naturally does it anyway, so I'd rather not do that and emphasise that more. I don't really know the kind of techniques for nose shape, to be honest. But I know I want to bring it up here to kind of match with the eyes. Right, okay, so I've contoured one side of my face. I haven't gone too heavy. And first of all, I'm going to say this is a lovely formula. I've been intrigued to see it at last because it's very creamy, but it's easy to blend out. It's weird because, like I said, especially with the cheekbone area, I think in particular, and actually this bit here, the jawline, looking at the two comparisons, you can tell it's made a difference. Even though I didn't use particularly, well, certainly I didn't use too much product, but it's pretty undetectable on the skin almost. I think the formula is very forgiving, so if you do go heavy, it is quite easy to blend out as well. But yeah, I'm just actually, to be honest, I'm not that worried about the contour. I'm just really impressed with the product itself at the moment. So you have to let me know your thoughts looking at the two in comparison, and what you think. But I think there's a definite difference there. Definite. I'm just going to do the other side now, just so it all matches together. And actually, since that first squeeze, I haven't really squeezed too much out. I kind of used a lot of the excess along the jawline here, but I feel like a little product is going to go a long way, so this is going to last you nicely as well. And like I said, it was £9. I feel like e.l.f. was around, it's been around for a while I feel like, and I remember, I think, yeah, if you go right to back at the beginning of my channel, there I had one of their big old like palettes, like 100 shade palettes, but they weren't the best eyeshadows, and e.l.f. was like a very basic brand I feel like back then. And then I had this kind of reboot, and I feel like they've done really well. They're kind of, I would say, one of my favourite drugstore or kind of affordable brands at the moment. They do some really, really nice products, aren't too expensive either. They've just really, yeah, I feel they've really excelled themselves recently. Sponge is probably potentially a little bit unhygienic, and hopefully it's not something that gets clogged. But it is one that it does not one of those products where you have to like wait ages for the product to appear. It will kind of come out quite quickly when you first get it. I was trying to go too heavy along the jawline this time. Yeah, that's better. Okay, so now I've contoured my whole face. This is the final result with it. Like I said, the product really, really nice, really easy to blend. I put the product in kind of all areas that you can contour. If I do decide to kind of make this into my routine, this probably won't be all the areas I'll go to. I'll kind of tailor it a bit more, but I just wanted to play with the product, kind of get used to the contouring again, and see what works and what doesn't. I don't know if nose contouring is for me, but luckily it's a very forgivable product that it blends really nicely. So what I'll do is I'll insert a side-by-side clip now so you can see what it looked like before I did the contour, after I did the contour. And you'll have to let me know your thoughts. So yeah, this is what I've done. I don't think I've gone particularly heavy. I've kept it quite light as that's my style, to make things look quite natural. And I think it does actually give a very natural finish to the skin. I'm sure it can be very buildable. You can go much stronger if you want more emphasis in areas. But yeah, just my first time playing and getting back into contouring. This is what I've got. So please let me know your thoughts down below. Let me know if you're someone who likes contouring. Have you tried the e.l.f. Halo Glow ones? I really like this, and like I said, I might go for find one that's a more warmer shade to kind of actually use as a bronzer, not contour for me. And then potentially some of the blushes, because the blushes could be really, really pretty. Really pretty. So yeah, let me know your thoughts down below. potentially this is something I could see adding into my routine, because it didn't take too long, and like I said, it gives a very subtle effect, and very beautiful formula. So yeah, that's this video complete. I really hope you enjoyed. Leave any requests, any thoughts on today's video down below. Like I said, I'll pop in the 2 videos from back when I used to do contouring a lot, and warm tones, which you'll see doesn't quite work for me. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed, and thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in my next one.